Hey, what's up everyone, Demeo X here, bringing to you my thoughts and opinions on Demon X Dungeons X Dragons Battlemaker. Now this game was out when I was on vacation, but I had to postpone it due to me being sick. But now I have returned to basically give my thoughts and opinions on this game. I just want to clarify that I give a review 1 to 2 weeks, get my full-fledged opinion on things, and I'll be going through the good shits and the bad shits that Demon X Dungeons X and Dragons has to offer. Without further ado, let us begin. Now, Demon X Dungeons and Dragons is a crossover game, and if you basically don't know what these two games are, then I'll explain. Basically, it's a role-playing game where you and up to 4 friends have an adventure laid out for you, and you've got to basically beat it. You can basically pick a chess piece up to 8 characters, and you can level up that said character, or other characters as you want to, as well as set it out on your adventure, or take your time by doing side quests, ranking up, getting some renown, and picking your cards ready for the next adventure or dungeon that you basically delve across. And basically, that's about it on what the game basically has to offer. So, let's now move on to the good shits and the bad shits that this game has to offer. Starting off with the good shits, I will give them their hands down credit on being able to create your own character however way you see fit. You can even customize their armor and stuff like that, give them their very own weapons, and you even get to name that person too. But however, I will come back to this later. Another good thing I will add is the able to add people that you recently played with in fellow dungeons. So you can either send them a friend request, and whether or not you and them want to tackle another dungeon or continue on with the same story again, because you can actually hold off from the story and you can continue off where you last left off with you and your mates. You can do that, which I gotta say, another good thing to add on that. And another good thing to basically add is the tiny little details that the game basically adds in the true D&D tradition. Basically, for instance, you roll the dice and you encounter the trap, and it's like, oh no, you've tripped on this tripwire, roll the dice to basically get out of this. Or it goes to one character before a fight starts, to like say a hunter character, saying you have the perk ability and you can see things to make the fight more easier, roll the dice to basically do that, or you fail, the fight gets even more harder, which I gotta say, a little tiny detail I will basically add on that, which is pretty good. And finally, I would even give them the hands down credit on where it's all laid out, because you're at a board table as it is, but the background, you're in someone's living room. But how you got there is beyond me. And that is everything to go over regarding the good shits. So now, let's move on now to the bad shits. Starting off with the bad shits, I would say the first problem I'd have would be the lack of customization. Say for instance, if someone wants to be a warrior, well, the only character that's a warrior would be the dwarf. But what if someone doesn't want to be a dwarf? What if they just want to be a human? And that's one thing they can't choose. If they want to be a warrior, they're going to have to be a dwarf. And if they want to be a human, well, the only humanoid character that the game has is the huntress. So that's one thing I would say that's pretty bad. Another bad thing I will add would be the recent player thing. Now I know I gave this game praise, but sadly enough, the game does not keep track on the recent people that you've played with. And if you want to add them, you have to scroll through thousands of names in order to find that one person that you wish to hang out with. And again, that's if it's a cross-platform player too. So it's like finding a needle in a haystack if you ever wish to play with that player again, unfortunately. So that's another bad thing I will add to that. And the final bad thing I've got to cover would be the community. Now, most of the time as I was trying to get footage for this game, I was trying to hopefully play online with other people. But most of the time I tried to do so, I either got kicked or the game disconnected me, and the game itself didn't even tell me whether I was kicked or disconnected. Which really is kind of sad on that too, because I don't know whether or not if I've pissed some people off or it's just because of my faulty internet. And that is basically everything I've got to say regarding the bad shits. Which brings me to my verdict on this game, and that is this game good? I would say it's okay. It's not good, but it's not bad either. Now, I would give this game a yes, but due to the amount of disconnecting I had, and not to mention a lot of toxic people I had, I'm not saying the game is full of bad people. There are some good people in that group, but the amount of times I couldn't find anyone that was absolutely nice, it was really kind of upsetting because I really liked those people and I really wanted to play with them again. But I sadly can't do that, unfortunately. But in all honesty, I do hope good things happen to this game, and that just depends on how the devs will see the game in general. But would I recommend you play this game? However, I'd say if you want to try playing D&D for yourself for the very first time, I'd say yes. But I would highly recommend that you play this game with your mates and not with randomos. But what do you think? Do you agree with my decisions? Do you disagree with my decisions? Or how else do you view this review? I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below. With that being said, though, if this review was helpful, be sure to leave a like. If it didn't, then I don't, and I give rat's ass. However, if you are interested in joining the Rat Kingdom in any way, shape, or form, our link to our Discord server is in the description below. But with that being said, though, I hope you enjoyed, and as always, peace. DX is out.